So the Niners have won 4 games in a row. The Dolphins have won 5 games in a row. Which win streak would you say is more fraudulent?
Ooh. Man, I think you can make a good case for both. And knowing that you're a Niner hater, Grant, I'm going to go with the Dolphins, and here's why. So the Dolphins, during their win streak, have averaged 30.2 points per game. Before that win streak, I know a couple of those weeks were without Tua, but before that win streak, they went over 30 points just one time in the previous 7 games. So that offense went from one time over 30 to averaging 30 during this 5-game win streak. But if you look at the 49ers, the strength of the 49ers is their defense. They've averaged giving up 10 points per game during their win streak. But if you look at the first 4 games of the season, they had a similar stretch where they only gave up 11.25 points per game. So their defense has held up multiple points throughout this season. The Dolphins' offense, which is what everybody fears, they've been great during this win streak. But ultimately, before this win streak, one time over 30, I think theirs might be a little bit more fluky because both of these teams have had a relatively easy schedule throughout their 4 and 5 game win streaks.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Still, I think the Niners win streak is more fraudulent.
I knew it.
I think it's more fraudulent. I mean, look, like as you pointed out, the Dolphins are essentially undefeated when Tua starts and finishes the game. So if you want to say that their offense is overrated or not as good as it looks the last few weeks, fine. But the totality of what they have to offer as a team is kind of like unfazed. Like no one's kind of figured out what to do other than knock out the quarterback at this point. And you can't really say that about the Niners. So like this team has beaten Buffalo and Baltimore. The Niners don't have wins like that on their resume. So I'm looking at their last 5 wins, Steelers, Lions, Bears, Browns, Texans. Yeah, like nothing special there. It's not their fault. They didn't face anyone better. But what I do want to say, looking ahead to this matchup, is when this offense, to your point, the Dolphins have faced good defenses. New England, not Baltimore, but New England, Buffalo, the Jets. The Jets, they didn't have their quarterback, but Pittsburgh. So let's do that. New England, Buffalo, Pittsburgh. I'm looking at 20 points, 21 points, 16 points.
Yep.
So if the Niners defense is not a total mirage, and I don't think they are, I don't see Miami scoring more than 20 points this weekend.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's certainly something that we are probably going to see. And that's why, again, it would be concerning if Miami goes 30 plus because we've seen other defenses hold them down. Yeah, I don't either. I don't either.
I don't see it
especially if it's raining. Especially if it's
doesn't
raining.
mean the Niners will win, but it means that if they score 21, they just might. So we'll see.
Well, I would say they have a good chance because on the flip side, the 49ers average around 23 points a game scored, and Dolphins give up 23 points a game. So
unfortunately,
I think the likelihood
there's that weird stat where they're like, if it's against non-division opponents, they're averaging like 18.
That's true.
So this would be a good time for them to show that that's a bogus stat.
Yeah, most certainly.